I'm excited because my friend Rachel Ray is here today. Isn't that great? And she's given us a ton of fast and simple secrets to increase the flavor of your food without adding a ton of calories. Please welcome Rachel Ray. You don't all know it. I get little inside tips from Rachel, little tools to cook better.
Yeah.
You took one of my favorites, ribs, and you showed me how to make it a lot healthier.
Much healthier,
Which
yeah.
helped me a lot. Thank you very much. All right, so what tricks have you developed to help with flavor? This is a big issue for a lot of folks. Every time I tell folks to cut back on calories, it's often translated as cutting back on flavor. How do you do both together?
You know, you just take an opportunity to layer flavor in wherever you can. If you're cooking rice, for instance, you cook it in vegetable or chicken stock. Instead of cooking it in water, you're adding a lot of flavor without adding any calories. We've got a million great examples over here, too. Want to walk through them?
Yeah, this is the first one is something that I think is going to change the world for a lot of folks. You actually have created a tea marinade. I don't know why people haven't been doing this forever.
You know, tea, everybody talks about brining. It's very trendy. Well, when you make a brine, there's a lot of salt and a lot of sugar. That's how you make a brine, right? You can get an enormous amount of flavor without using the salt or the sugar. Use tea. If you take something like hibiscus tea or peach tea and put it with a lot of citrus, and you put in a lean protein like chicken breasts or pork tenderloin, you get an enormous amount of flavor. Let it hang out in there overnight, and you don't add any fat of any kind, and you get this delicious, intense flavor.
It's very moist, and what I always get upset about with meats is when they get dried out. You did a nice job here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is a competition I'm going to launch today. It's the zesting competition. To boost flavor, you can use citrus zest. So, and you talk about this all the time.
Acidity is so vital. If you're trying to watch your salt, replace it with lime juice. If you're trying to add flavor without adding calories, citrus zest goes such a long way. You know, one thing I've done on the show a million times, and it's always a big hit with families, is switching your family up to mashed sweet potatoes versus mashed potatoes. And instead of using butter and sour cream or lots of fat, just mash it up with chicken stock, and I add in sometimes a little bit of all fruit orange marmalade, and get a lot of orange flavor. But if you just do zest and stock, salt and pepper, and any dried spice you like, so much flavor, and it's just a bowl of great nutrition.
You know how many calories zest has in it, guys?
None.
2.
Oh, really? I was going for none.
Yeah, it's
close.
So here's
That's
the
like
deal.
a Tic Tac.
It's like exactly.
You really want to have a zest off?
Yes.
All right.
Are you ready? Now, we have to go once
Who's going to count?
No, we have to go once around. We're both doing it together. Whoever gets around the line first wins.
Around the line.
Around the line.
Not the entire line, just around the middle.
Just around it. Okay, you think you're good enough for this?
All right.
Ready, go.
Oh, you have a different technique.
Of course.
Look at you. Look at you. You've been practicing.
Go! Oh!
When you're using limes and lemons at home, guys, if they feel really tight, that means they're not going to give you a lot of juice. A great tip is to pop them in the microwave on high for about 10 to 15 seconds, and you'll make you'll make the juices flow, as
I
they
love
say.
these practical little tips.
It's a really good one, right?
It's so good.
It's so good.
Right. Next issue.
Okay.
You touched on a little bit about how acidity and vinegar.
Acidity is the key if you're trying to replace fat. It brightens things. It really brings an extra layer of flavor to them. Something as simple as a vinaigrette, like here we have a little raspberry vinaigrette, it can make or break any dish. You could take a really lean protein, fish, chicken, pork tenderloin, put it with some vegetables, pour a little vinaigrette over the top. You're eating very little oil, you're adding tons of flavor, and it looks really elegant,
Very specifically, how do you pick which vinegar to go with which meals?
You know what? It's really about your palate. And I think a lot of people also bitter their vinegars by not keeping them in the right place. Once you open vinegars, you keep them in the fridge, not in your pantry.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Why?
You should keep it, because they won't get cloudy on you, and it'll keep the flavor clear and crisp. You keep them in the pantry, they get kind of cloudy, and they lose their punch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you should keep your vinegar in the fridge, pumpkin.
I'm so glad I came to work today.
So, when I do dishes that have Spanish flavors in them, like smoky paprika, lots of parsley, lemon, almonds. I like sherry vinegar. If you're doing something that's light and springy, like Mother's Day, raspberry vinegars, fruity vinegars.
You know, when you speak, literally foods come out of your mouth.
Yeah. I
Flavors.
think in food. It's crazy. It really is.
They are so good. Don't you wish the audience could have some of these?
Yeah, sure. You can pass around the.
You sure?
Yeah, of
All right,
course.
teach them about this.
All
This is Rachel's secret sauce, your go-to sauce, I'm told.
Listen, something that you can use on literally everything from goat cheese to fish to chicken is chimichurri. You take a ton of fresh herbs, throw them into a food processor with a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice, a little acidity, again, and grind it up, and you can put it on anything. Pita, you could put it on grilled meats and fish, you could put it on grilled vegetables. You can use chimichurri for absolutely anything. Think of it as pesto minus the cheese. Another thing I love are spice blends. You can buy them in little grinders, and by grinding them fresh, you get a ton of flavor. And that's all you really need. A tiny bit of olive oil in the skillet, grind your spices over it. So if you're someone who really hates to cook, that's a good investment. Saves you a lot of money.
How's the asparagus? Oh, it's all finished. Was
Yummy,
good?
right? It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone already, asparagus. You can get all these recipes on DrRaj.com. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.